Hey guys, what's happening? Sorry I'm a little bit late. Tuesday night is just not my go live night. So, truth be told, I was sitting on the couch watching TV with my wife, and I got a message from my buddy Jim Betts, and I was like, dude, I got to go get on a live stream. So here I am. So I'm glad to be here. Glad you guys are here. So we got a lot to talk about tonight. Let's see who's on the broadcast. There's 8 of us so far, it looks like. So that's good. At least we got 8 stalwart people. Let's see who all's here. We got Kenji. Good job. First. Yes, you were first. I was not first. So sorry about that. And Rust Moments is here. That's great. Shannon from Atlanta, Georgia. That's awesome. Let's see. So Fast Eddie wants to know if anybody bought anything today. That is a good question. If you're in the Discord, you saw that I did buy something today, and we'll talk about that here in a second. Shannon bought some BTI, some British, what's that called? Tobacco, British tobacco. Russ bought 2 shares of Kroger. Good job, man. WBU as well. I guess that means you bought that as well. Yeah, Shannon thought about picking up some Kroger. That's good. So let's see what Pat's got going on here. Good evening, Kevin. I'm finally drawing dividends. Turned 70 over the weekend and figured it was time to enjoy. My friend, it is time to enjoy. I would say do something special, man. Do something special with those dividends. The older I get, I'm about 10 years behind you, but the older I get, the more I realize that, it'll be our kids spending it when we're gone. So we might as well spend it, right? So that's good. That's good stuff, man. I'm proud of you. I think that is awesome. So great job, man. That's a place that all of us desire to be. I remember, back when I was a young whippersnapper and, really kind of dreaming about the future without having any idea what that future looked like. I knew that part of it was being able to be financially secure. So, maybe I'm there. And, but Pat, you have arrived, and that's fantastic, man. I'm really happy for you. Jim, happy Tuesday to you, my friend. Let's see what else we got here. So my buddy Russ, I'm heading home from OT work and tuning in, so I'll be watching but not typing. That is good. You keep your eyes on the road, your hands on the wheel, and we'll guide this thing for you. Hopefully we'll be able to keep you at least a little bit entertained, to keep you awake while you drive, my friend. So that's good. Doing that OT work, making that extra money so you can put it in your investment accounts. I think that's fantastic. Getting to where you need to be a little bit faster. That's good stuff. Let's see. So here's Jim. He says that he's already started pulling dividends. He's not taking out more than he gets. He's reinvesting about 2/3 of what he gets in. So that means he's pulling out about 1/3. So, man, that's fantastic. You're continuing to grow that portfolio, and enjoying life at the same time. So that's good stuff. Let's see. So if Fast Eddie wants to know what Pat's biggest regret was in 70 years, there was some discussion today in the Discord about the lady with the tattoo that says on her forehead that says Kevin, and that's a big regret. So I get it, man. I get it. Let's see. Yeah, Pat's pulling about 65% and reinvesting the rest. That's good stuff. Let's see. You guys were having a great conversation while I was sitting on the couch watching television. That's good stuff. Let's see. I like the way you say this, Jim. I'll wait a couple of years before I go to go full bore on spending my grandchildren's inheritance. Absolutely, man. What do they need? They don't need anything. Just spend it all, man. All right, here. Yeah, I hope Kevin's okay too. Kevin was just fine. Kevin was enjoying himself on a Tuesday night, which is unusual. We had, so where was I last night? Last night, believe it or not, I'm now president of our Beekeepers Association. So I had a board meeting last night and was just not able to get on the call. So then I thought, oh, I'll just move it to Tuesday night. And I get to Tuesday night and it's like, oh, it's Tuesday night. I don't have anything to do. But I did. So it all works. Fast Daddy said it's in the 90s in Texas today. So he's assuming the bees are out. Yeah, I think that's true. We've got a pretty good flow going on right now. And then for those of you who don't know what that is when the bees are bringing nectar into the hive and making honey. So we've got a pretty good flow going on. The problem we're having is we're having too much rain. So a couple of things with rain, you need some, but if you have too much, the bees can't fly in the rain. So they will hole up in their hive and wait on the rain to stop. So while it's raining, they're not being productive. And then secondly, the rain washes away both pollen and nectar from the flowers. So it makes it a little more difficult for them. So, yeah. So John Jay is going to dock my pay. That's great, man. I was really hoping to go out to dinner on what I'm going to make tonight, which is not even true, but that's okay, buddy. Oh yeah, put in a requisition for vacation time. You got it. I'll get right on that, my friend. All right, so we'll come back to this in a second. Let's talk about United Health Group, and just so you know, I did not get a chance to pull up what I wanted to pull up, but let's go to. I'll go to Morningstar before I send you guys over there. I'll go through all of the fun stuff, so you guys don't have to worry about it. All right, here we go. Okay, let's do a little share action here. I'm going to share this screen and let you guys see what I'm seeing. All right, here we go. United Health Group, UNH, down $67.37 today. That is 17.8%. That is pretty significant. So you see what the one-day chart looks like there. Let me see if I can, I'm going to view the full chart here. See if I can get maybe a little bit better. There you go. That's better context right there. Look at that cliff that it just jumped off of. And let's look at the last month. And you see that not only did we jump off a cliff today, but we jumped off a cliff around the 15th, 16th of April. So it has just been a tough month. Here's a better look. This is the last 3 months. I mean, here we were back at, $600 back on right at 600. Yeah, high of 606 on April 11th. And here we are, May the 13th? May the 13th. We are now down to $378. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That was yesterday. We are now down to $311.38. So it's nearly half of what it was roughly 1 month ago today. So United Health Group, what's going on? There's a lot of risk there, obviously. A lot of uncertainty. So where does the uncertainty come from? I know that they're being investigated for, by the DOJ for some practices that they were doing that was known by the investment community. They so they have some uncertainty around what is that going to bear out? Are they going to get in trouble for that? Are they going to be fined? What's the deal? So there's some uncertainty from that perspective. There's also uncertainty from a regulatory policy, governmental policy perspective. What does the Trump administration's policy on healthcare costs, and all that kind of stuff, what impact will that have on United Health Group? I think that is an uncertainty. And then all of a sudden today, we find out that their CEO resigned effective immediately for personal reasons. I don't know what those personal reasons are, but that's what he did. And so they've brought in their current chairman of the board. So now he's both CEO and chairman of the board. He is the former CEO of the company. Started, I think, with the company in 1999 as like chief operating officer. So he has a lot of history, a lot of experience in this industry and with this company. So I think it's a good move. I mean, it's a great stabilizing move for them. The problem is he's not going to be there forever. I mean, he has already moved on to that chairman role, which is usually the place where they go to kind of fly away when they're ready. So now he's being brought back in to the organization. I don't think that's a long-term solution for United Health Group, but I also question whether they are just getting beat up for no reason, right? I mean, I think some of this is valid. I think they were probably overvalued. And if I had to do it all over again, I might have trimmed my position back when it was up around 600. But, sometimes I just don't pay that close attention to it. It's like I'm a long-term investor. So sometimes you get burned like that, and that's okay, because now I'm sitting here looking at a stock that I believe is worth somewhere in the $530 range. That's trading at around $312. So guess what I did? I bought some United Health Group today. So I had 130 shares of United Health Group starting the day, and I added 70 shares to that. So that's my synopsis on United Health Group. There's some risk here, right? There's some risk that United Health Group, there may be things we don't know about. And so anytime there's uncertainty, at least from my experience, anytime there's uncertainty with a company, the market will punish that company to what they believe would be even the worst case scenario. So that's why it's really important for companies to come out and give as much information as possible, because if they don't give enough information, the investors will automatically think the worst, and they will make the transactions to get out of the stock or whatever, because they just don't know. So, here's an uncertainty. The CEO resigns for personal reasons. Does that mean that it's personal, or does that mean that he's going to get in trouble and he needs to go ahead and resign? You know what I mean? So could there be another shoe that's going to drop? So there could be more things like that. And so investors are thinking that way, and they're thinking, man, I got to get out of this stock. They're selling it off. It's now down to $311.38 per share, roughly half what it was a month ago. I think that's probably overdone. I think from a long-term perspective, some of these things will resolve themselves. Here's the other thing that I have seen over time. This is just my opinion. This is just the way I do it. You don't have to do it this way. It's just, I like to share what I do so that you can either, take some notes from what I do, and maybe it helps you, take some notes from what I do and find things that you don't want to do, right? Or ignore it altogether. And it's no difference to me. But at the end of the day, I have seen over time that as uncertainties resolve themselves, they may impact the company overall, but typically not as bad as what investors are thinking, because investors tend to want to move to the worst case scenario. Most of the time, it's not the worst case scenario. So I think in the long run, it's probably not a bad move for me to pick up some United Health Group shares and average down on my investment. So that's what I did. What are you guys' thoughts? Are you picking up UNH? Are you getting out of UNH? Do you not care about UNH? Is it a pass for you? So give me some thoughts in the live stream tonight, and let's chat about that. Anything you're buying? I think I saw some Kroger out there. I don't know if I saw a lot of other stuff, but anyway, let me know what you're buying out there. So we will come back to here. And while I have you guys, I'm going to look and see what my average is now that I have purchased some additional shares. But to do that, I have to log into my account. So I didn't want to do that live. Is it live or is it Memorex? You guys remember that? All right. So my portfolio today was down 0.49%. I think the market was up somewhere in the 0.7 range. And it's really, United Health Group and Elevance Health. So both of those were kind of pitiful today, but that's okay. It's all good. All right. See, United Health Group. I know what it is. What was it? So when I bought United Health Group, I thought at the time I got it at a great entry point, and I did get it at a great entry point. But who would have thunk all the stuff that's happened? So I had gotten in. My average cost is $465. So let me see. UNH. Yeah, $465.14. That was my buy-in price with the 130 shares, and it was up around $600, right? So things were looking really good. And then all of a sudden it dropped back to my cost basis. And I was like, well, I'll hold on to it. Now it is way down, in the low 300s now. So, but I don't think long-term, I don't think that, it's not going away. Right. So I think that they've the other thing they did is they pulled their guidance for 2025. Which means we don't really have any clarity on what the 2025 results will be. But that's not abnormal because you got a new CEO coming in, although he is the chairman of the board, so he should know. But they're pulling that guidance from 2025, creating even more uncertainty. But they do say that they believe growth will continue or will come back in 2026. So we'll just have to see. Anyway, long story short, the original cost basis was $465. I bought 70 shares today. I bought 70 shares today for $312.73. So now my average cost basis is $411.80. So I've improved my cost per share on United Health Group by about, what is that, $50-something a share. That's pretty significant. So, but still, I'm down 24%. Before I did that averaging down, I was down 33%. So, but that's kind of the way we do it, right? When we believe we have quality companies that are going through some bad times, if we can average down on those, we believe that if we believe in the future, and you may not believe in the future of UNH, but if I believe in the future, why not go ahead and average down? So I think we're probably going to see there's probably a lot of traders trying to take advantage of what's going on here. I think they're going to have to cover some shorts, and there's going to be some option activity going on, and all of that's going to have to sort itself out over the next few days. So we'll see what happens. But I think it's probably gonna settle out here, maybe rise just a little bit. But what do I know? That's why I went ahead and bought. But I'm not suggesting that anybody else buy. It's just what I did. All right, let's go back to what you guys are talking about here. Jim, you are amazing. All right. Yeah, some of this was you guys trying to figure out why I was late. And I wish it was something that was like really cool, but it wasn't. Yeah. Oh, let's see. Bees chasing him. Yes, Russ did text me, and Russ got me out of that couch as well. So it was Jim and Russ. So I appreciate you guys, because sometimes I need a kick in the pants, and that's what happened tonight. So I appreciate that. All right. All right. So John Jay, I'm finally getting to some substance here. John Jay says that he bought UNH. I hope I didn't make a mistake, because, of course, with all the changes with Medicare and drug plans. Yeah, I mean, those are the risks, John. That's the regulatory policy, governmental policy risk that we run with UNH. I guess the way I look at it is, I'm not looking at today and tomorrow. I'm looking at the future, and I think that there is a need for what United Health Group brings to the table. Will there be changes and overhauls to that? It's possible, but I don't know. I don't know how long that's going to last. But also, I do believe that they will be able to figure it out, and so I'm putting my money on them. If you bought today, I think you bought at a good time, because I bought today as well. And so we'll see. So we're in the same boat, man, except I got in the boat. I don't remember when I got in the boat. When did I get in the UNH boat? Let me look. So I started buying in April of 24. I bought 3 tranches in April of 24. And then one in December of 24, and then another one today. So yeah, we're in this together, John Jay. Yes, I am Fast Eddie. I am old school, and but I don't think I can get a fax. I used to be able to get a fax on my computer back in the day, so I was really like, I was into it, man, but I don't think I can get his fax today. Let's see, Jim, say it ain't so. You have his direct, you tricky. Yeah, absolutely, man. I'm not picky who has my instant message. No, I'm just joking, Jim. I'm just joking, man. Let's see. Russ says here, read that UNH's old CEO is coming back. That is correct. It reminds me of Schultz. It's with Starbucks. Absolutely. Iger with Disney. Yep. Fantastic. Those are great points. Those have been pretty much flat since. Yeah. And I think, I think they're all kind of different stories, but I your point is well taken. And that is, when they bring the old CEO back, it's never a long-term solution. And can they find the right CEO to take UNH to the next level? Who knows? it was a very fast decision, and so the company had very little time to decide what to do. And once that decision is made, they have I think it's 3 days to inform investors. It might be 4 days. I just don't remember. But the SEC requires that any change in senior leadership be announced. That once the decision is made, now somebody could be saying, "Hey, I'm considering retiring at a certain time," and that's all well and good. But as soon as that decision is made, and they turn the letter in, and they say, "I am retiring, I am quitting," that the company has 3 days, I think, to make that known to the public. And so I'm sure over the last few days, UNH was scrambling, trying to figure out what they were going to do. And I think they came out with a pretty good solution, but I do believe it's temporary. And I do believe it's got the same flavor as Starbucks and Disney. So, Russ, you are, again, right on the money with that. Yeah, John Jay saying, I can't imagine UNH staying down. I think let's take a look at some of the financials. I haven't looked at them in a little while. I'll flip you guys over here to Simply Safe. Oh, let's read this together. There's a new thing here from Simply Safe Dividends. So let's read this together. This is as of today, they have reduced the dividend safety score from very safe to safe. That doesn't concern me a lot. They downgraded that today. United Health shares dropped 15% on Tuesday after the firm withdrew its 2025 guidance and announced the resignation of CEO Andrew Whitty just weeks after the company slashed its profit forecast by more than 10%. The move deepened a sell-off that has erased over a third of the company's market value in recent weeks, reflecting growing doubts about the future of its Medicare Advantage business, which accounts for roughly 40% of revenue. The challenges that they noted in April haven't changed, but they've escalated more rapidly than management anticipated. Medical costs are rising faster than government reimbursement rates. That's not shocking. The strain has been compounded by new members who joined after other insurers exited unprofitable Medicare markets. Without adequate medical records from these departing plans, United Health underestimated the health risks it was assuming. So I think we knew all of that. This added scrutiny could delay regulatory relief. While management expects growth to resume in 2026, which is what was in the letter today, the path forward is becoming increasingly uncertain following the withdrawal of guidance, which creates uncertainty, right? So they've downgraded them. While full-year earnings remain a moving target, United Health's dividend looks secure, even in a more severe downturn. A 50% drop in profits would still leave the payout ratio near 60%, a manageable level for a company with an A+ credit rating and $37 billion in cash against an $8 billion annual dividend commitment. So, we're sitting here looking at a very solid company that is falling on hard times, and sounds like, at least from the way Simply Safe Dividends, let me read the rest of this. Well, where did I oh yeah, prompting a leadership change. So it sounds like, according to Simply Safe Dividends, maybe they've got some information I don't have, but it says it prompted a leadership change. The word from the company says he stepped down for personal reasons. It did not say that due to the Medicare setbacks, we're going a different direction with the CEO. It didn't say that. So I'm not sure where they're getting this. Maybe they've got some insider information that I don't have. But either way, it's a risk. And so anyway, you got that fresh here. That is fresh off the press. I have not seen this yet. But the point I wanted to look at, let's take a look just real quick at United Health's. So now they're down at an 80. They were a 90. A plus credit rating. They have, let's see. Dividend growth has been solid. I mean, look at that. Look at that line. It's crazy. We've got a 15-year streak. Looks like they're on tap. What they should be announcing a dividend raise in for, let's see, March, April, May, June, for the June timeframe. We'll see how that goes. Keep an eye on that. You heard it first here. That dividend announcement will be a true sign of what the management believes. If they keep that the same, I think we have some challenges. If they go ahead and raise the dividend, I think we're okay. So keep your eye on that dividend. That's one of the reasons I am a dividend investor. It's not because I necessarily think that a company has to offer a dividend for me to invest in it. But the dividend, what the management believes and the board believes about the dividend, gives me insight into the company that I don't get with a company that doesn't provide a dividend. So if the company is consistently growing their dividend and their payout ratio stays pretty flat, that means they're growing their business, supporting that dividend. And if they signal what they see in the future with an increased dividend, I think it gives you information that you don't normally have. So hopefully that makes sense. But yeah, they're sitting here currently with an earnings payout ratio of 30%. Let's see. Let's look at their. Looks like they are buying back a few shares, but not many. Yeah, the return on invested capital looks fine. Net debt to capital, 31%. That's not bad. And their interest coverage is right at that 8.25. So that's kind of where we like it. So, I think the financials look fine. I think the company from a financial perspective looks fine. They've got some struggles. They may not get the growth that they're looking for, but I think we're only in trouble if this thing drops in half, right? And it might do that. Who knows? I don't know, but I'm willing to invest in that business. So there we go. Here, let me come back to you guys. There we go. Hey, welcome back. All right. Yeah, I can't imagine them staying down long term. I can imagine it staying down for the short term, though, or even medium term until some of these uncertainties get worked out. Might be a while they figure out something, same as with Pepsi. Yeah, I think that's right. I think it could be a while. Let's see what Jim says here. He says, I would think UNH would benefit from the administration's push to have drug companies lower prices. I would up the margins a bit on companies like UNH, or so I would think. Yeah, I think, that's a good perspective, Jim. I don't know, but I think that we may see in the future. I think the drug prices definitely is certainly not hurting UNH. I mean, it would hurt some of the pharmaceuticals, but not companies like UNH. But I'm not sure that there's not other things coming down the pike that would lower health costs in general. And I don't know what those are. I mean, there's been a lot of executive orders. There's been a lot of change. And I'm not sure what's still in the pipeline, right? So that's the only reason I there's some uncertainty in that for me. Is I just don't know what I don't know, right? So hopefully nothing, but Yeah, that's true. Many people couldn't imagine Lehman Brothers going under. Yep, that's right. So there's always a risk when we invest, guys, and let's don't forget that. So that's why diversification is a key as an investing strategy. It is a risk management strategy. It is totally risk management. If you aren't using a good diversification strategy for your portfolio, and something like UNH happens, you could be in trouble. So, I mean, yeah, it hurt my portfolio today, but it didn't like kill my portfolio because it's only 3%, right, of the portfolio. It probably was started the day out probably, what would that be? Maybe 3.5%, and it's now down to 3.1% of the portfolio. But you see what I mean? If I had 30% of the portfolio in UNH, that would be a lot bigger deal. So diversification, keep it diversified, my friends. Yeah, are they the biggest health provider, insurance company? I'm not really sure. I don't know if they're the biggest or not, but I mean they're pretty big. They've got some others like Humana and I don't remember the other one, but those are the two big ones, Humana and United Health. I think United Health is bigger than them. Oh, Michael Swami's in the house. Good to see you, my friend. Welcome back. Fast Eddie went to get a beer, so that's good. Rum and Coke. Hey, what kind of show do you guys think this is? Hey, Brad Durfee's back. Man, it's good to see you, buddy. I'm glad you were late because I was late as well. And so you weren't late at all. So there we go. Yeah, rum and Pepsi for Russ. That's right. Uh, let's see. Oh, what about you? I thought it was that Washington Mutual Bank ticker, but so it was WBU. Just for everybody else, maybe this is like common knowledge, but I deal with bees and honey and chickens during the day, so they don't give me any these new little acronyms like WBU. What about you? And so anyway, thanks for clearing that up, man. I appreciate it. Now I know. Michael bought some Bush. Dude, I don't know, man. That's like low budget for you. I thought you'd be buying the champagne of beers. I bet you next door will go on there before. What is next door? I bet you next door will go on there before UNH or Pepsi ever does. I'm not sure what that means. Oh, next star. Got it. Next star. Yeah. Who knows? Maybe so. Yep. You're right, Russ. Anything is possible. Aren't you driving? How are you typing and driving? You shouldn't do that, man. Hey, Ex Dividend Dad is here. Ex Dividend Dad says that UNH is a sell, and you may be right. That's why they call it investing. Is some you got to have buyers and sellers, otherwise the price is zero. So there we go. Here's a challenge for Ex Dividend Dad. How much lower can it go? I'm sure he'll have a good. My buddy Ex Dividend Dad likes to play the charts, and I'm sure he's looking at some kind of moving average signal, and so I'm sure he's going to give us some kind of cool answer here in just a minute. So looking forward to that. So Pat says his biggest regret is not buying McDonald's stock when I was 20. I did not start investing until about 45. Yeah, I think I've got a similar story there. I started investing probably around 33. I was about 33, so probably 10 or 12 years before you did, Pat. But I still remember back in the day when it was when it snowed and I had to walk uphill both ways to school and back. I feel like I'm telling my those old grandfather stories, but I remember watching this show. It was on PBR, Public Broadcasting, and I forget the name of the show. Mr. Income would remember it. It was on the tip of my tongue, but anyway, that I would watch it every night, and they would talk about stocks. And so Apple had gone down to $15 a share, and I was like, you know what? I need to buy Apple, and I never did. And I'm sure it has split a few times since then, and it would have been a great buy at that particular point in time. But that was long before even the iPod came out, right? This was just Apple computers. That's all they had. And, so I was looking at that, and so were other investors, and they were going, IBM is wiping up, Windows is wiping up, and this Apple stuff is just not gonna work. So, boy, were we wrong, right? Let's see. Kenji says buying the UNH fear will probably turn bullish on Trump soon, like the tariff speed bump. Yeah, we'll see. They've got a lot to overcome. They've got to overcome this leadership challenge. I think there is some uncertainty on the. I don't think the tariffs so much, but I think certainly from a policy perspective, and then this DOJ investigation. I think once we see some of that begin to resolve, I think it'll come back. Will it be 600 again? I don't know. I don't think so. I think it'll but maybe 500. Who knows? We'll see. Maybe we should earmark this video and see what happens in a year. Yeah, Rust has 275 average on McDonald's. That's pretty good, my friend. Yeah, Michael. The answer to the question on how low can UNH go is 0. Yeah, every stock could theoretically go to 0. It can't go below, so we got that going for us. Oh, good. So Michael sees it as a buying opportunity as well. So we'll see. Never mind the price of the stock, and they meet their dividend. Yeah, they meet their dividends, and they'll be able to meet their dividends even if their profits drop in half. Is what Simply Safe said, because they would still be at a 60% payout ratio, which is kind of like the top end of where I would want to invest in a company. They're currently at 30%. So if their earnings drop in half, that means that if they're at 30%, they would now be at 60%. So that's easy math. So and I'm on Thursday when I get paid. Oh, okay, gotcha. You're gonna pick up a few shares on Thursday. That's great, man. Plenty. Let's see. Also, from my opinion, it's a long road back. It's not just one earnings. Yeah, I think that's right. Ex-dividend data. I don't think this is. There's a lot of uncertainties there that have to be worked out, and they're not going to happen overnight. So I don't think that there's a rush to buy shares. That's why I didn't double my position. I went ahead and bought about half of the shares of a double, and left some dry powder for the next go around. If it drops further, then I may buy some more. We'll see. Yeah, I don't know, because you just never know, right? You never know when that, because even though we don't think it's going to resolve, something might resolve. For instance, they might in a week or so say we've got this new CEO coming in who is perfect for the company, and that might drive some things. So who knows? Let me take a look at something real quick. Yeah, United Health. Here, I'll share this with you guys. You can't even see it. It's so small. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, I have not sorted this today. So this the change in stock price actually impacts this total annual return potential. This is kind of what I look at to determine if there are stocks to buy. Yeah, good. Okay, so what this did is it actually moved United Health from the 5th position to the number 2 position, right behind Novo Nordisk. And but I don't own Novo Nordisk. I'm just not into those folks, the pharmaceuticals at this point. So this would be United Health is now my number 1. What I would consider a buy now, even ahead of ConocoPhillips. So there you go. So I'm going to go ahead and sort this. There we go. My top buy rated stock is United Health Group. And, there's some fear there, right? So if there's fear, people are staying away. And, it says it's 2.6% of the portfolio now. So there we go. So maybe it was 3.1 when we started today. Maybe it's 2.6 now. But now with the additional 70 shares, it's probably made it about 3.5, back to 3.5. I have not put that in my spreadsheet yet. So these are my top buys: United Health Group, ConocoPhillips, Google. Of course, Elevance has moved up, but I have plenty of that. I don't think I'm going to buy any of that. Northrop Grumman, I think, is interesting. I think they have done well here recently, but I think I may reconsider Northrop Grumman. Amphenol, man, they are killing it. Amphenol's killing it. What are we doing on Amphenol? Yeah, since we started Amphenol, we're up about 28%. Let's walk through. I haven't looked at this in a little while. Let's look at the worst performers. United Health Group, and I don't have the additional 70 shares in here. So instead of 33% down, it's probably more like 25%. Stanley Black & Decker, even with a stellar day, was it yesterday? They had a tremendous day. We're still down 25% on them. Hershey, we're down 11%. Elevance is down 3.7. Ooh, and it went down 10% today. So we were green until today. ConocoPhillips, we're down about 3.85, and Google, we're down 1%. Everything else is high. It's green. And so we've got, what's our biggest one? Parker Hannifin is a double. We've doubled Parker Hannifin. So there we go. So, things are not bad. We could be doing much worse. Yeah, we could be doing much worse. So yeah, things are looking good, man. All right, let's come back here. Metrics still look okay. I think we're still talking about UNH, except uncertainty how the new U.S. admin health secretary actions affect insurance companies, if any. Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah, that might be true, Michael. CEO resigned for personal reasons. He personally preferred not to get fired, so that could be it. I don't know though that I don't think it's his fault, but maybe it was his fault that they couldn't predict it, right? So maybe that's what it was. Ex-Dividend Dad says, Michael, that's not true. He just doesn't want to deal with an inherited problem. And maybe he's tired, No, I don't think that's it. I think he either was forced out or there's something else going on, and it could be something related to any actions that he took, or it could be that he's got some type of health issue. So, which would be kind of odd that the CEO of a health company has a health issue. But let's see. I don't know enough how to evaluate a healthcare company. Yeah, I don't think any of us do. I think there's just so many moving parts there, but financially, I don't think they're in a bad spot. The Jim initiated positions in Kroger, SFD. Is that San Francisco Fire Department? Let me look that up real quick. Dun, 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 dun. SFD. Oh, Smithfield Foods. Yeah, you had asked me a question about Smithfield Foods. So, you know what I think I'll do is go to, once I get through a few more of these, I'm going to go to the Discord. There's a couple of questions in there I thought would be interesting just to give a take on those. So, yeah, let's, and I think Zoetis, that could be kind of fun too. So Smithfield Foods is not rated by Simply Safe, but let's kind of walk through that. So Kenji says we need to read up on RFK's mindset, see where he wants insurance to go. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be RFK or if it's going to be Trump himself. So we'll just have to see. I think something needs to be done with insurance. I just don't know how we make that happen. So Russ made it home. Fun fact, what I made in 3 hours of overtime is about what I make in 2 months on YouTube. I can believe that. What I make selling honey in 1 month is the same as I've made on YouTube in the 3.5 years I've been on it. So there you go. We don't do this for the money, Russ. We do it because we enjoy our people. We enjoy this subject, and we just like to kind of kick it around and hopefully make each other better investors. I know you guys have helped make me a better investor. And one of the ways you do that is I don't want to get on here and tell you something that's wrong. So it makes me actually sit down and actually do some research. So if it weren't for you guys, I wouldn't have that accountability. So I appreciate you guys so much. How much do you think that old CEO is leaving with in cash? I'm sure it's a lot. I'm sure all of his stock options and all of that. I'm sure he's not gonna be hurting, my friend. Yeah, let's not think about that. That's good. Yeah, Wall Street Week. I don't know if that was it. That was a good one though. That's not the one I was thinking of. But that was a good one. I'll try to remember what it was for the next one. Let's move real quick to the Discord. Yikes. I don't want it there. I want it over here. Let's go to. So if you're not a member of the Discord, you should consider it. Let me figure out how to get it on the screen here. There we go. Okay, so this is healthcare. You can see we've been chatting about United Health and stuff. So let's go to questions for Kevin. Where's that at? It's right here. So Jim asked about Smithfield Foods. Companies with a local footprint catch my attention. They just had an IPO back in January, pays a dividend, and is getting some favorable coverage by Wall Street. So let's take a look at the way I would look at it. I think that'd be kind of fun. So first of all, I would go to Simply Safe Dividends. It is not rated by them. They are a double or triple B minus credit rating. That is the lowest rating you can have and still be investment grade. But, at the end of the day, that's not terribly overwhelming. They pay a 25-cent dividend. Not a lot of history. Their earnings payout ratio is about 44%. That looks fine. Let's see. Sales have been pretty flat. Return on invested capital bounces around a bit. Net debt to capital is not terrible, and their interest coverage ratio is good. So let's see if Morningstar follows these guys at all. SFD, Smithfield Foods. Let's see. Let's look at. Oh, I guess I better log in. Get 7 days for free. Nah, I don't want to do that. There we go. No, they're not followed. It's the Q rating, which is the not quantum. There's a quant. It's a quant rating. So they don't follow them. It's just a calculation that they do. So, but they say the fair value is $26. It's currently trading around $22.63, and it's a 4-star stock. So that's not bad. And what else would I do? Let's take a look at tip ranks and see what they say. SFD analyst forecast. They say there's a 33% upside. Their target's $30 for the stock. It's trading at around $22.63. So they've got 2 analysts that are rating them. One is at 28, one's at 32. So the average is $30. Those are the top analysts. Let's see if there's any others. There are 9 total analysts that have that are targeting an average $27.75 for Smithfield Foods. So, yeah, the food industry though is a bit unstable for me. I don't know. It doesn't excite me a lot. I mean, you got Tyson, you got Smithfield, you got Purdue, Cal-Maine. All of those companies, it was in my mind and then it left. But anyway, ConAgra is one. So you got all of those companies that struggle sometimes. And so it's not a very consistent thing. I think what I would do if I were going to get in a stock in the food industry is I would want to find some stock that was trading well below its fair value. And but that I could see a pathway out for them, because anytime a company is trading below fair value, there's something wrong. It could be management, it could be strategy, it could be anything, it could be financial. And so there needs to be some strategy that's going to get them out of the hole. So that's Smithfield doesn't excite me a lot, Jim. I'll be honest, but who knows? I mean, the analysts seem to like it. Could be 20 to 30% if you believe them. But I don't know. Doesn't excite me a lot. Sorry, you asked. All right. What was the other? Was there anything else we were going to look at? Oh, yeah. Inkiter is wanting to know. This was about Hess Midstream. It looks like a complex structure. Can you expand elaboration on your live stream? Yeah. So a lot of people think that Hess Midstream is a here. I'll just go ahead and just chat for a second. There we go. All right. Hey, welcome back. So Hess Midstream is a company that it's public, but it's owned by some other companies as well. And those companies hold private shares in Hess Midstream. What Hess Midstream has been doing, and these owners in these private shares, is as the stock does better over time, these private owners are selling these shares out in the open market. So what looks like from an investor perspective looks like they're selling more shares out on the market, but in reality, those shares are already there. They're just in a private holding. So they've been shooting these private holdings out into the public market. So that looks a little confusing. The other thing is they have been when they do that, there's really no change in the earnings per share because the shares are already getting earnings, right? So it looks like they've issued shares and therefore, causing some problems for shareholders. But at the end of the day, it's not doing anything. All it's doing is moving it from the private market to the public market. So once that is all done, and who knows when that is, I think they're well over 50% now liquidated from those private shares. And they do it in stair steps. So we'll see. But so that's why it looks confusing, is because there's both private and public shares, but both of those shares receive earnings per share. So as they move them from the private sector over to the public market, which is where we can buy them, it doesn't impact the company at all. The company could care less, but investors see that and they go, "Oh, they're diluting earnings." And no, they're not diluting earnings. It's not doing anything. It has no impact at all on the shares, on the earnings per share of the company. So that's part of what's confusing about it. They are not they issue a 1099. So they're not a master limited partnership. They're not an MLP. They are a qualified dividend. That's another thing that's confusing. So I don't really want to go much more into the weeds on it. I think what's most confusing is that there are private shares and public shares, and the private shares every now and then get moved into the public. And now HESM, Hess Midstream, is beginning to buy back shares also. So they may issue debt to actually buy back shares, but they are buying back shares that are coming into the market. So they may, instead of buying back shares from the market, they may actually buy these private offerings. So you just have to kind of keep an eye on what they're doing, how they're doing it. But at the end of the day, they are the moves from private to public don't matter. And Hess Midstream is buying back shares. So they are positioning, I think, the company in a very good spot. So hopefully that's helpful, Inkider. Let me know if I missed the boat on there. You nailed it. You nailed it. Nightly Business Report. That was it. I used to watch that every night. That was a fantastic show. I thought it was very factual. They, they kind of had their pulse on individual stocks. So I loved watching that. So, hey, Defense Dad, welcome, man. UNH is a buy. Like them or not, they are necessary for our healthcare system to function. Rates will climb. Reimbursements will be adjusted by the CMS as needed. Yeah, I think that's a great perspective to have. And so I think it's a buy as well, because I bought some shares today. So we will see. And I may buy some more if they continue to degrade. Hopefully they start going up, and if they start going up, I might buy some more then as well. Let's see, Hormel and General Mills, which is a much better option than Smithfield. Yeah, I think all of those struggle, right? General Mills struggles, Hormel struggles. So I don't own any of them. I just don't. They don't do anything for me, I guess. They're not terrible. They're great companies, and they're needed companies. They're absolutely essential companies, but I just don't think they're going to move very far, very fast. So I don't get them. Can't use tip ranks without bringing up Julie. Yeah, it'd be great to have her on a live stream, wouldn't it? Yeah, we could do that. Well, I doubt she would come on, but I can always ask. Oh yeah, you are welcome, my friend. No worries. Billy, J&J. So does that mean you bought some J&J, or you want to see what's going on with J&J? I think let me take a look. I think J&J has struggled here recently. Let's see here. J&J. Yeah, they are down again at 148. I sold some of my position. It's been 6 months ago or so, but yeah, 148. They're down 3.7% today, and I think this whole healthcare thing is weighing on them as well. The analysts think there's a 14% upside. What does here? Let me just go to my spreadsheet. Stock listing. J&J. Johnson and Johnson. Yeah, so it's right now it's 2 point here. I'll show you guys. No secrets here, right? I own it. I don't see it as a buy. I see it as a hold. It is about 2.4% of the portfolio. I see it having an annual return of about 11%, which is not terrible, right? But it is not the what was it, 20 something percent that I'm expecting from UNH or ConocoPhillips. So I think it's a hold. Even the analysts think it's going to be around a 16%. They have a wide moat. They are trading at about a 9% discount to fair value. Return on invested capital is 19%. Low uncertainty, 99 dividend safety score, 3.5% dividend. So, I mean, they are a solid company, and I think they're going to continue to just grow their earnings steady, Eddie, every year. And so I do have them in the portfolio. I love the fact that it gives my portfolio a bit of a shock absorber when, so Johnson & Johnson might move slowly, whereas other things might move very fast. And so that causes my portfolio to have a little more stability than the market does. So I love that piece of it. And, I'm okay with an 11% return, but I don't want to load up the boat for an 11% return. So hopefully that makes sense. Here we go. So Billy bought some today, and Russ likes them. So there you go. And I like them too. I own them. I just don't see them as somebody that I want to buy more of at the moment. If I didn't own them, I would buy some, but they're in my normal weighting range, which is around 2.5%. They're 2.37% of the portfolio. So I'm good with where J&J is in the portfolio. Hopefully that helps. Let's see. Yeah, because so Michael says that Julie went on with Ari. They used to work together. So Ari was at Tip Ranks, and so was Julie. So, I don't know Julie. I know Ari very well. Fantastic guy. I love Ari a lot. But I do not know Julie at all. So I'm not sure. Because I don't know her, then I'm not sure she would even answer any message that I sent her. So we'll see. Let's see. Bridget Bennett from Market Beat would be another one to have on. Neither one of them are too hard to look at. Yeah. So compared to me, that's you could probably have just about anybody on. So Kevin would need to issue them a cowboy hat. That is right. I mean, anybody that comes on, maybe I should have that as a prerequisite. Anybody that comes on the program has to wear a cowboy hat. Nah, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe the requirement is to have a hat. So a hat that really depicts their personality. Maybe that's what we should do. So, well, with that, guys, sorry I got on here late, but I think we had a lot of fun. So it's been great to see you guys this week. I will see you again next Monday. I'll be back on Mondays next week, and hopefully I won't forget. So, hey, have a great night, guys. And it gets kind of weird out there. So stay focused and stay diversified, and stay true to your process and just make it happen. Let's go invest.